game of Monopoly happening here, and I'm doing alright here. I've managed to get Park Lane and Mayfair, pretty excited. So far I've got 4 houses on Park Lane, but I've managed up to the hotel on Mayfair. I can see a couple over here, family members coming around. Here comes roll the dice. We've got an 8, so let's just pick that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Smack bang on Park Lane. Thank you very much. Let me just get that card here for Park Lane. Here it is. Park Lane, Costa Hotel. That would have to be $1,500. Thank you. I wonder how much profit I've made. Let's just have a quick look at what sort of profit I made on Park Lane. So, the actual site cost. The actual site cost me $350 to purchase originally. Now I managed to get a hotel on there, but before I put a hotel on there, I had to put houses on there, and they were $200 each, and I had to put 4 of them. So there's $800 in houses. And then I managed to get my hotel on there, which was another $200. If I add those up, I have a total costs. My costs come out to be $200,000 and $800,000, $1,350. But I'm feeling pretty chuffed at this stage because what I managed to make was my total income was $1,500 for that one landing on Park Lane. $1,500, which means my profit is going to equal the total money I made, be it from income or selling price, take away the cost price, $1,350 in this case, $150 in profit. So profit is simply the excess money when you take out the costs. Now what we can do though, we can take this a little bit further and say, well, how about the percentage profit? So profit as a percentage. So really, I guess if I'd written this properly, I'd write it as a word, profit as a percentage. And as soon as we see the word, we know we're going to be timesing by 100, one of the rules of thumb. So I have $150 is my profit. I guess I should be asking as a percentage of what? In this case, we'll say a percentage of the costs, or the cost price. So as a percentage of the cost or cost price, in that case that was $1,350, so divide by 1,350, so 150 out of 1,350 times by 100. I do that on my calculator, I find out I made a tidy little 11.1% profit on this particular deal. Right, back to the game, time to continue the annihilation. Out of jail, back in the game, but unfortunately I'm coming back up to Killer Corner. We'll see how we go this time. Off my free parking over here. What do I roll? Roll to 3. 1, 2, 3. On Fleet Street, $875 again. Looks like I'm going to have to start thinking seriously about throwing a few properties in a mortgage. So let's have a look here. Big guns, Mayfair. Have a quick look at it. Mortgage for $200. What's the percentage loss on that when I've already got a hotel on it? Alas, the game did not quite go the way I planned. They've ganged up on me and the annihilation has turned the other way. So, here I am at the point where I have to mortgage properties, but I've looked up the rules. You can't mortgage properties until you sell back your houses. So all these little houses of mine had to be sold back to the bank at half price. So I've already lost my money there. Once I've done that, I can then get my mortgage taken care of. So for Mayfair, it cost me $400, and I'm going to be able to sell it, or mortgage it to the bank really, for $200. So my loss in this case is $200, and as a percentage, that one's pretty obvious. The percentage loss is my 200 out of my 400 times by 100, and it doesn't take a genius to work out this one. That's simply going to equal 50%. However, by this stage the greed had set in, and the sharks were circling, they could smell the blood in the water, and the family wanted Dad's blood. But not necessarily my detriment. A bidding war started, and there were people trying to buy this property off me. After a bit of bidding, I managed to get this property sold for $325. So I managed to actually sell it for more than I could have mortgaged it for. Remember, the cost price was originally $400. Should have held out longer. I reckon I could have got more, but the market was not in my favour. So my loss in this case then turned out to be the $400 minus the $325, which was $75 loss. Looking a little bit better, keeping Dad in the game a bit longer so they could humiliate him that little bit more. I think that was the only reason. So now as a percentage loss then, again I want my 75, divide it by my cost price of 400, and then times it by 100. Do that, 75 divided by 400 times 100, 18.75%. Much better off. Unfortunately, I still lost the game. Sum up, the profit or loss as a percentage Firstly, make sure you read carefully what they're asking for it as a percentage of, because that will be the important part. Is it a percentage of the cost price, or is it a percentage of the selling price? So read that carefully. Generally, it'll be at the cost price. Just make sure you don't miss that one. And so we'll have to calculate firstly the profit or loss, then divide it by whichever of these. Let's say it's the cost price, and then times it by 100 to calculate our percentage. Nice and simple.